gave you a full hour to tell everyone you know to tune in to the highly anticipated coaches interview.
It's been a while since I've been this excited to get to a high school, a local high school game, which I will be doing tonight with the Suns. So I'm excited to hear these guys, man.
Here I give you Coach Tim Hayworth of Male High School. How's it going, Coach?
Good. How you guys doing?
Real good, real good. Now, Coach, we have a tradition here. We always like to get the tough, hard-hitting question out the way, and we can relax. Are you ready for it?
Yeah, go ahead.
How strong is the basketball down in the Hopkinsville, Clarksville, Tennessee area?
It's really strong. I want to tell you, like, per capita, it may be, I say this all the time, but per capita, it may be the most talented city I've ever seen.
So,
college majors, D1 players all over the place.
No, sir. I didn't mean to step on your response, Coach. It's just being from Clarksville, I try to tell everybody, if you've ever been down to that area, Hopkinsville, Clarksville, just you would know you're in a different world as far as basketball goes.
Phenomenal. I'm serious. The open gyms at Hopkinsville were amazing. Like, even after the season's over, you're like, okay, let's get some open gyms going and see what everybody's got.
No, yeah. A personal quick story. I used to go up with Sean Marion and Trenton Hassel to face Lamont Barnes and Greg Buckner and go up that way just to find an open basketball court as soon as you hit, Hopkinsville, Kentucky, and it was like a blood sport out there.
Oh, the open gyms are amazing. I mean, so much talent. And actually, at Hopkinsville, I used to, in the summer, we'd have all these guys come back, and I'd tell them, hey, we're going to play against them. And, how are you not going to get better playing NBA guys?
No, listen, Coach, I appreciate that one. Okay, now let's move it a lot more local. Kind of talk about your transition from Hopkinsville to Male. Like, how has it gone? I mean, obviously you're winning, you're having a good year. Kind of talk about your experience from the time you got here.
Well,
it's year two.
Our athletic director, John Kelsey. It's been a pleasure for me to work for him. He actually drove to Hoptown and went down there and came and got me, and I knew he was on a different level when he drove all the way down there. And he told me, he said, I'm not getting in this car until you tell me that you're committed to Male. And when you're wanted at a place, then it's going to be a great place for you. And he's made me feel so special as a basketball coach, a person, and and our principal at the time, Dr. Jury. He was, the same. I feel the same way about him. He ultimately hired me here, and and so I couldn't ask for better support from an administration standpoint. And then the kids are just phenomenal. Like I've never seen a school like this. I didn't even know a school like this even existed. And and so for these kids to buy in and be committed to what we have been talking about the last 2 years, it's been a pleasure.
What have you been most pleased with as far as the development of your team, more specifically this year, from the time you rolled out the ball the first practice to now? Like where has the strongest development been?
I'd say just from a toughness standpoint, and I know it's cliche. A lot of coaches say, well, we got to get tougher and this and that. But really for me, like, you're going to have talent at Male, and you got to have talent to even compete and win games. But for me as a coach, I'm looking, can we be tough enough to get stops when you need to get stops? Can we be tough enough to rebound? Can we be tough enough to pass the ball to the open man? And because when you've got talent and you've got a good team, like, there's a lot of sacrificing that has to take place, and you got to get 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids to buy into sacrificing minutes and points and all that. And that's been the biggest thing for me as a coach, is to see those kids really buy into their roles.
Talking with Tim Hayworth here on 93.9 The Ville. What has been the biggest struggle as far as, just something you've been trying to get to the team and you may get it sometime with a little inconsistency and sometimes you don't get it. What's been that one that keeps you up at night, that would really take your team over the top?
Really not things for us personally. Here's the thing. You get in a big game, you got to shoot the ball well, and we can sit here, no need to overanalyze things. If you go in and shoot 2 for 20 or 5 for 15 from the free throw line, it's going to be hard for you to win a big game. So what I try to tell our guys is to just have confidence in yourself. And we've won 30 games this season, so we really don't have to change a whole lot. I would say more than anything, stuff that would keep you up would be just the competition level. Hopefully that you're playing in the 7th region, and then even beyond that. And that's one thing that we've tried to do is, even when we went to New Orleans and we're playing some top 25, top 50 teams in America, like, you want to have a challenge where you're a little bit nervous and you've got to play your best to be able to come out with the win. It's just like, when you play Ballard or Trinity or, these schools up here, like, you gotta be. You shouldn't be able to play bad. Like, we shouldn't walk away tonight saying we played bad and we still won. Like, it's the regional championship. Like, no, you got to bring it. You got to play really well to beat Ballard. And and that's what that's the challenge for us.
Talking with Coach Tim Hayward of Bell High School. One more question, and Steve may have a question for you. How have you met the expectations that you thought you would have coming into the season? I mean, I know most schools just go state championship and work their way backwards. Are you a guy that kind of set those goals for the team, or are you kind of just day to day, let's just, practice as hard as we can and kind of see how it plays out?
I'm more day to day. Here's the thing. I told them we've had a special season. I mean, for us to be preseason number one and for us to be number one in the state, like right now, that means that we've had an unbelievable year. And I said, for you to have a special season, it's got to end at Rupp Arena, And so, I talk to our guys a lot about, win the district, win the region. Very seldom will I ever bring up winning the state championship, just because if your season ends at Rupp, if you get to Rupp, that's a special season. And then when you get in that scenario, 4 games, anybody can win it at that point. And so that's always what I try to talk to them about. But it's the process of getting there more than it is about actually doing it. So if you're good with the process, if everybody's bought into everything that we're talking about, and and they have been, they've had a special season. So one game can't define whether you've had a great season or not. So I'm not big on it. It's just like if you're a UK U of L fan, like, it's so crazy to me. I played my college basketball at Murray State, so our dream was to get to the NCAA tournament. So that's what Coach Cronin talked about with us. But the thing is, like, when you're at a U of L or a UK, then, your goal is to win a national championship. I get that. But if you get to a Sweet 16, that is pretty awesome. I don't care if you're at UK or Louisville. If you get to, but we've lost our perspective sometimes, where getting to an Elite Eight isn't elite anymore. Well, it's still elite. You're still really good. And so you can't, as a coach or a player, get caught up in what people think or say based on a win or a loss like tonight. Like if Male wins, great, we move on to the state tournament. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't mean that Ballard had a bad season. You know what I'm saying? Or they didn't have a great year, or Male had a bad year if they lose. So, we just try to keep everything in perspective.
Coach, one last before we get you.
And I'm like, his personality, the way he cares about the kids, the way he demands from, he wants his school to be the best. And so when you have leadership that's on fire every single day, then it just makes everybody want to do right. It makes everybody want to come to school and put forth their best foot.
Coach, that's my old football coach back in the day, man. I love that guy, man. He did a lot for me, man. Got a lot of respect for him. Should be a great atmosphere tonight. I know I'll be out there. I'm taking my young one out there. I want him to see that level of basketball that's going to be played tonight. And we couldn't give you enough congratulations on the season you've had. 30-4, ending number one, ending the regular season ranked number one. You've really come in here and done a great job, Coach.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate the kind words.
Yeah, and Coach, listen, I'm looking forward to someday you and I sitting down and sharing some Hopkinsville war stories.
Oh, I would love that. I love Hopkinsville. Love it.
No, listen, Coach, I appreciate the time. I know you got to get back to preparing for a big game, and good luck.
All right. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That was Coach Tim Hayward of Male High School. I tell you what,